This is an affordable dual fuel generator. That means it can run on gasoline or propane. And if you don't know why propane is so desirable, it never goes bad. So if you've got one of your gas grill tanks around, you can connect it to a generator like this, power it and create electricity, but you don't have to worry about your fuel source going bad. The price of this generator truly is affordable. I paid $429 for this. Now, a year and a half ago, I showed you a propane only generator. That was very different because you could never use gasoline at all. That sold for almost $600 and it only put out 800 watts of electricity. And I got many comments saying it was too expensive and didn't put out enough power for your needs. So this one, made by the company Pulsar, puts out 2,000 watts of electricity and it is a dual fuel. So for me, I'm never going to be using this built-in gas tank, and that takes a lot of the kind of pressure off of maintaining a machine like this. Now, there is still maintenance around things like oil changes, but the fuel going bad is the #1 reason that most generators fail when you need them. Now, the model number of this one is the Pulsar PG2200BIS. The other great thing is this is an inverter generator. This is exactly the same as the Honda EU2200i. Now, of course, it's not a Honda, but even the Honda is not a dual fuel generator. They even give you the oil to get started, so you don't have to buy anything else. This is a spark plug tool. You get a funnel. The most important thing they include is the regulator. This screws right into your gas grill tank, and then this hose connects into the generator, and it's super easy. All we've got to do is take this panel off and add the oil. The other great thing is this is pre-measured, so we shouldn't really have to worry about how much goes in there. It's got our oil fill on the side, along with our spark plug, which could be accessed from this panel here. This funnel is pretty clever. It's got a threaded end. We'll just check our level. Just about in the middle, and that is going to be fine. Now, you'll want to connect it to your generator first, and then connect it to your propane tank. To get started, we just removed this simple dust cover, and now we've got our spot for our hose. This just threads on. You'll want to start by hand. We'll just snug it up with a wrench. Doesn't take much. Just about a quarter turn. And just like your gas grill, this new design does not require any tools. Just thread it right onto your propane tank. Next, we'll slowly open the tank. Open it all the way. Now, you are going to hear some gas or some kind of hissing in here, but it's important that you press this. You can hear some hissing, and that's what's purging the line, and doing this should make it much easier to start. This is a really good feature to have that built in. Next, you do not use the choke at all. The choke is only used if you're going to run the generator off of gasoline. Just like all other inverter generators, this thing's got an economy mode. That means it'll help you save fuel, but you want that economy mode switch off before you try to pull start the generator. We want to make sure that our engine switch is set to on, and this is the first time this generator has ever been started, so let's give it a shot. That's pretty good. The outfit I reviewed last year took me about 10 pulls to get it going the first time, so whatever they're doing here, this design seemed to work great. You've also got a little light here indicating that you're running and you're putting out the correct amount of electricity. The volume is really good. This thing is not making much noise at all. It also smells a lot cleaner. You still cannot run this thing indoors, but you're definitely not getting the exhaust the way you would with the gasoline generator. This has been running now for just a couple of minutes. This is super, super quiet. Now, this is the economy mode. We're gonna put it back. Now it's back to its maximum running speed. Let's measure the sound. 58 decibels. I'm probably 50 feet away right now. You can barely hear that thing. They've even given you a USB port. Now, this may not be something you'll use, but there's also parallel operation outlets, so you could connect 2 of these together and double the output. You just take these little dust covers off. That's exactly like the Honda generator has that same function. This heat gun uses around 1,700 watts. Now, this is an inverter power generator capable of 2,000 watts, but that's peak output. That means kind of like surge output. The running wattage is 1,600 watts. That means you can run 1,600 watts all day long without a problem, but if something should surge like a pump or a motor, it can give you a little bit more. Now, that could be helpful if you're going to run like a small air conditioner or a bigger appliance. Plug our heat gun in, set it to maximum. Yeah, seems to have no problem running it at all. I'm going to try a few start and stop, see if it does anything weird to the engine. Now I want to check out the quality of the electricity, see if it's putting out pure sine power and what the voltage and frequency looks like, and check what's called the total harmonic distortion. Now that is a big deal on a gas generator. If these things are putting out a ton of noise, that can cause you all kinds of havoc. So our meter is running. You just see the red sign. It's definitely putting out pure sine. And that is one of the cleanest readings I've ever gotten. I actually get more distortion on battery units than this. That is really exceptional. Now the biggest question is going to be runtime. How long will this thing run off of one tank of fuel? You will be able to run overnight on a single tank of propane. The other benefit is you don't have to just limit yourself to this small 20-pound tank. You could get a larger tank connected in that way, and you could run for much longer periods off of just a single tank. The benefit here, of course, is these are available pretty much anywhere. This is one of those ones that's actually cheap, it works perfectly, and it is built super well. I am blown away by this. A lot of propane generators on the market, including that Alp that I tested a couple years ago, they don't always start very easily, and oftentimes the quality might be a little bit less than you would expect. This thing feels like it's built just like the Honda. It started super easily, it tested perfectly, and I don't really know any other way to beat it, especially with the low price. The only negative I could find is that they're often out of stock. That might be because they're already a bestseller. I don't really know. And if you order one of these, you might get it the next day, or it might take a couple of weeks. But honestly, I would say it's worth the wait.